Myself, Vijaykumari, Assistant Professor in PG Department of Commerce, Majlis Arts and Science College, Puramannur. Here I am standing in front of you to present the topic Human Resource Accounting. After the end of the session, the learners will be able to understand the meaning and definition of human resource accounting, the need for human resource accounting, and also to apply different human resource valuation models. Let's start our session with the need for human resource accounting. As we know that the success of an organization depends upon the quality, caliber and performance of employees working in the organization. Employees are the greatest asset of an organization, and the success or failure of an organization depends upon the skill and performance of the employees working in the organization. In spite of the vast physical resources and latest technology, the organization finds itself in the midst of financial crisis if it does not have the right person to manage its affairs and conduct the business. Let's see the meaning of human resource accounting. Human resources are considered as an important asset in the organization. It is different from physical asset. Physical assets do not have any type of feelings and emotions, whereas human assets have certain type of emotions and feelings. Therefore, it is considered as an important asset in the organization. Therefore, valuation of human assets along with other assets are also considered an important, because in order to find out total cost of an organization, it is very much important. In the year 1960, Rensis Likert along with other social researchers made an attempt to define the concept of human resource accounting. Human resource accounting is a new branch of accounting. It is an attempt to find out the value of human resource in an organization. Next we can see definitions of HR accounting. First definition was given by American Accounting Society on HRA. Human resource accounting is the process of identifying and measuring data about human resources and communicating this information to interested parties. Okay, then second definition is that human resource accounting is accounting for people as an organization resource. It involves measuring the cost incurred by business firms and other organizations to recruit, select, train and develop human asset, and also involves measuring the economic value of human resources. This definition was given by Flam-Holtz. Okay, next we can see what are the objectives of human resource accounting. Okay, first objective is that to furnish cost value information for decision making purpose. By utilizing human value, we can make important decisions, that is the top management can make important decisions relating to recruitment. Okay, then another objective is that to allow management personnel to monitor effectively the use of human resources. Then next one is provide information relating to human resources, and also the objective of human resource accounting is to provide depreciation or appreciation relating to human resource. These are the different objectives of human resource accounting. Next we can see valuation of human resources. There are so many methods suggested for the valuation of human resource. Many of these methods are considering physical assets as well as financial assets, whereas some other methods consider human considerations also. Major methods available for the valuation of human resources are: first one is historical cost method, second one is replacement cost method, third one is opportunity cost method, then fourth one is standard cost method, and last one is present value of future earnings method. Okay, these are the different approaches or models available for the valuation of human resources. We can go through these models. First one is historical cost method. Historical cost method was introduced by William C. Paley. Historical cost is based on actual cost incurred on the human resources. Such cost may be of two types. First one is acquisition cost and second one is learning cost. Acquisition cost are the cost incurred on acquiring right man for the right time, for the right place and at the right quantity. Okay, then learning cost are the cost incurred for training and developing. Under this method, actual cost incurred for recruiting, hiring, training and developing human resource of the organization are capitalized and amortized over the expected useful life of the human resources. Next method is replacement cost method. This approach was first suggested by Rensis Likert and developed by Eric G. Flamholtz on the basis of the concept of replacement cost. As against historical cost, which takes into account the actual cost incurred on employees for recruiting, then whereas in the case of replacement cost, it is the cost, notional cost that may be incurred on recruiting to replace the present employees. In calculating replacement cost, there may be certain types of expenses may be incurred, that is acquisition cost and learning cost, and also in the case of replacement cost, it is much higher than that of historical cost. The third method for valuation of human resource is opportunity cost method. This method was advocated by Kaiman and Jones. Opportunity cost is the value of an asset when there is an alternative use of it. There is no opportunity cost for those employees that are not scarce, and those at the top will not be available for auction. Only scarce people should comprise opportunity cost in human resource. Opportunity cost method can work for the pupil at shop floor and middle order management. The fourth method for valuation of human resource is standard cost method. Instead of using historical cost or replacement cost method, many companies use standard cost for the valuation of human resources. For using standard cost, the employees of an organization are categorized into different groups on the basis of their hierarchical positions, and each category value of human resource may be calculated. This method is very simple, but it does not consider the employees within the group, that is the employees differences within the group. Therefore, the calculation of standard cost is very tedious task for its calculation. The last method for the valuation of human resource is present value of future earnings. This is the important method for valuation of human resource. In this method, the future earnings of various groups of employees are estimated up to the age of their retirement and are discounted at a predetermined rate to obtain the present value of such earnings. This method is similar to that of the method used in physical as well as financial asset. Next, we can see the procedure for valuation of human assets. First point is that first step is that the employees of an organization is divided into different classes on the basis of homogeneity. The groups may be unskilled, semi-skilled, technical staff, managerial staffs, etc. according to their different classes and age groups. The second step is that average earnings for each category of group or each age group is calculated. Total earnings for each category of age groups up to their retirement is calculated. Next step is the total earnings are calculated on the basis of their discounted rate. The value thus arrived will be the value of human assets. The concept of HR accounting is still a developmental and experimental stage. Very few firms in developed nations have introduced HR accounting in their respective organizations. HR accounting is still new and much additional research will be necessary before it is accepted universally. We hope that in the near future human asset will become an important asset along with other assets in the balance sheet. Thank you for watching and listening this video.